This meditation for compassion comes from the Buddhist practice of Tonglen, and it can become your practice to do this when you or someone you know is suffering. This meditation begins with a focus on loving acceptance of yourself. Sometimes it's the belief that we shouldn't experience pain that causes the most suffering. Part of this practice is to touch that suffering and to change your relationship to your pain. It's also the practice to touch the suffering of others and to change your relationship to their pain. In this meditation, you'll begin by directing your thoughts to loving kindness toward yourself before turning your focus to others. Begin by sitting or lying down in a relaxed position. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Take a few moments to connect with your body. Scan it to see if there's any discomfort. Adjust your position if you need to, and then gently relax your hands at your sides. Now turn your attention to your breath. Inhaling through your nose, deep into your belly. Breathe slowly and deeply, evenly through your nostrils, down into your lungs, allowing the in-breath to become the same length as the out-breath. As you breathe in, allow the emotions associated to your own suffering to come to the surface. On your out-breath, breathe out these emotions and fill the empty space with compassion. Open your heart to your own suffering with these words. May I be free from suffering. May I care about my suffering. I love you. Now turn your focus to someone you love, with someone who you have no difficult feelings. Maybe a spiritual teacher, a mentor or friend, a family member, maybe even a pet or a small child. Think about your own desire to be happy, and then think about this person's very same desire. Picture something they may have suffered over, and then breathe in the suffering of someone you love, and breathe out compassion. May you be free from suffering. I care about your suffering. May you care about your suffering. I love you. May you be free from suffering. I care about your suffering. May you care about your suffering. I love you. If these words don't feel right to you, choose something that feels like a better fit. Realize that your loved one wants to be happy, but they may be suffering instead. Open your heart to them. May you be free from suffering. I care about your suffering. May you care about your suffering. I love you. Now breathe in the suffering of someone who is neutral for you. Someone you see in the world like a neighbor, or maybe someone who works in a local shop, but you have no specific feelings toward. Try not to think about it too hard. When someone's face comes to mind, allow it to be them. Realize that this person wants to be happy, but may be suffering instead. You don't need to create a story about what they may be suffering from. Simply open your heart to them with these words. May you be free from suffering. I care about your suffering. May you care about your suffering. I love you. Next, you're going to turn to someone who is challenging for you. Someone you may think has hurt you, or someone you're currently having a conflict with. Perhaps the most difficult person for you. Focus on someone who brings up an unpleasant emotional charge for you. Realize that this person, like everyone else, wants to be happy. Touch their desire to be happy, just like you. If you choose to increase that suffering, their behavior may become more difficult. But when you come from a place of compassion, you can shift your thoughts that will allow you to open your heart to that person. Offer them the words, may you be free from suffering. I care about your suffering. May you care about your suffering. I love you. You may not love this person right now, but you do have the capacity to love them. If these words feel forced or strange to you, quietly accept that it may take some time. If you find your mind wandering to a difficult place, remembering old stories or unkind words, that's okay. Minds do this. Just return your focus to your breath and turn your thoughts to compassion. Begin again. May you be free from suffering. I care about your suffering. May you care about your suffering. I love you. Take in a deep breath and breathe out compassion. Let it be. Finally, you're going to breathe in the suffering of the world and breathe out compassion to the world. Realize that everyone in the world wants to be happy, but sometimes experiences suffering instead. By developing universal compassion for everyone, you can help to relieve this suffering. Open your heart to the world. May you be free from suffering. I care about your suffering. May you care about your suffering. I love you. As you reach the end of this meditation, visualize the suffering you breathed in, knowing that you must release it so that it doesn't increase your own suffering. It may help to give it a form like thick black smoke, or an object that creates heaviness in your heart. Breathe in and breathe out this suffering completely. May you be free from suffering. I care about your suffering. May you care about your suffering. I love you. Fill your heart center and your whole being with compassion toward yourself, everyone you know, and to the world. Continue breathing slowly and deeply. Take another deep breath in, and as you release it, with your eyes still closed, turn your attention to the room. Bring your awareness to your body, feeling that open space in your heart and your lungs. Notice the air on your skin. And just breathe in this quiet moment. In this moment, let there be peace.